Yeah. In this video, we're going to talk about improving sentences by combining. So we're going to combine sentences for more sophisticated writing. First, let's do a quick sentence review. We have the simple sentence where she writes music. The compound, she writes music and she plays the piano. Complex, after she writes the music, she plays it on the piano. And the compound complex, after she writes the music, she plays it on the piano, for she wants to know how it sounds and flows. And so when we're combining sentences, in a sense, we're tying them together, splicing them. So why do we combine? First, writers combine sentences to put two or more closely related thoughts into one sentence. Another reason is they combine sentences to add variety to their writing. So we're going to talk about three-step process. This is one approach to combining sentences. First, we identify relationships, then we eliminate common elements, and then we combine the sentences into one grammatical sentence. So we're going to start by talking about Howard, and we're doing simple sentence combining. In this, we take two sentences, Howard likes politics and Howard likes people, or closely related sentences. We find a relationship between the two sentences by asking what words are repeated. Can these words be eliminated? Can the remaining words be combined? So we go back to our sentence here, and we see that Howard and likes are repeated, so we can eliminate them. Then we can combine the rest into one sentence. So here we have a simple sentence. Howard likes politics and people. We can also use appositives. Appositives and adjective clauses help eliminate repeated words and phrases. Now, appositives are noun phrases that identify or describe a noun. Appositives are separated from the noun they describe by commas, usually. Let's look at how this works. Identify noun phrase that identifies or describes a noun. So, Howard likes classical music and Howard is a fine violinist. So we see here we have our noun phrase. So we can combine it into this sentence. Howard, a fine violinist, likes classical music. Here we've taken the noun phrase and put it next to the noun it describes, unless we have an appositive. Now let's talk about combining compound sentences. And we'll introduce Darlene here. We're going to make compound sentences by taking two related sentences. Howard prefers classical music, and Darlene thinks classical music is boring. So first we identify the relationship. It's a contrast. In this, we need a contrast connector word. We have coordinating conjunctions, but or yet. So Howard prefers classical music, but Darlene thinks classical music is boring. We could also use a transition word. Howard prefers classical music. However, Darlene thinks classical music is boring. Next, replace or eliminate repeated words or ideas. And one way is with pronouns. Howard likes classical music, but Darlene thinks classical music is boring. Classical music is what is repeated here. So we change that by changing classical music to an it. Complex sentences. To do complex sentences, let's talk about camping a little bit. Take Darlene and Howard and put them in a camping situation. So in complex sentences, we take two sentences that are related. And here the relationship is attitudes toward camping. Darlene likes to go camping. Howard finds camping very inconvenient. Identify the relationship, which is contrast here. So we use a contrast subordinator like although or even though to combine the sentences. Although Darlene likes to go camping, Howard finds camping very inconvenient. Next, we can replace or eliminate repeated words or ideas by using pronouns. So we look back at our sentence here. Although Darlene likes to go camping, Howard finds camping very inconvenient. And we can eliminate camping, as we did before, and replace it with a pronoun. Also, it's possible to use something like do to replace a common verb or verb phrase that express the same idea. So here we have, although Darlene likes to go camping, Howard doesn't. And the explanation here is that Howard finds it inconvenient means that Howard does not like to go camping, so we can replace all of this idea with does not or doesn't. Do can replace an action verb that's repeated. And let's try a compound complex sentence now. Take 3 sentences that are related. Howard likes Darlene. Howard prefers classical music. And Darlene thinks classical music is boring. Identify a relationship, which here is contrast. So Howard likes Darlene, but Howard prefers classical music, while Darlene thinks classical music is boring. And we will eliminate our pronouns, or we'll make our pronouns now. So we can replace Howard in the second one with he, and Darlene with she, and there's no confusion about antecedents, because Howard is male and Darlene is female. We can replace classical music with it, because that's the only object in the previous sentence, or previous groups of words. So let's review. To combine sentences, the writer identifies the relationship between the sentences. He eliminates or replaces common elements, and combines the sentences into a single grammatical sentence. So if we review, we identify relationships, eliminate elements in compound, and combine a sentence into one grammatical sentence. And that's an approach to sentence combining. Thank you very much.